Welcome to Blame the Bible study where we actually read all the horrible parts of Christianity they don't like to talk about in church. In this video, I just want to point out that the Bible, which is the feature of all my videos, and the foundation of the Christian religion, is incomplete. It's missing 14 books of the Apocrypha. What is the Apocrypha? Well, it's a whole bunch of books that were in the Bible with the Old Testament as early as the year 200 BC. As you can see, it says completion of the Septuagint Greek manuscripts, which contain the 39 Old Testament books and 14 Apocrypha books, was in 200 BC. One of the most famous books of the Apocrypha was the book of Enoch, which is attributed to Enoch, the son of Jared and the father of Methuselah from the Old Testament. So why are all these books of the Apocrypha not in the Christian Bible today? It was not until the year 315 AD, or current era, that the 27 books of the New Testament were actually canonized and recognized as the official books that would be in the New Testament. Took them 315 years after Jesus' birth to figure it out. Interesting. And then it was in 382 when all 80 books, 39 Old Testament, 14 Apocrypha, and 27 New Testament books were first all put together. But somewhere along the line, the 14 books of the Apocrypha were taken out. Let's look for when that happened. In 1455 AD, Gutenberg invented that printing press, right? And the very first book ever printed was Gutenberg's Bible in Latin. And it included all 80 books, including the Apocrypha. In 1535 AD, there was the first complete Bible printed in the English language, and it had all 80 books, including the Apocrypha books. These numbered verses that we see in all of the chapters of the books of the Bible were not entered into all of the texts until the year 1560 AD. In the year 1611, the King James Bible was first printed, and it had all 80 books in it. And they stayed in the King James Version until they were removed in 1885, which left only 66 books in the Bible. But why? Did they decide that these books of the Apocrypha just should not be in there? Most of the reasons that I have seen is because people started to notice and realize that those books and the things in them didn't quite seem to match up with what was written in the other books. The Bible's still full of contradicting passages, and it's really hard to make sense of it. But these were apparently just too far wild out there that in the year 1885, this is in the 19th century, it was not that long ago, the officials just decided to cut them 14 books out of the King James Bible. So ever since then, they've made version after version after version, different translations of this Bible, but they don't have those 14 books of the Apocrypha. I think, honestly, we should count those as part of the Bible. They were around for so long and were accepted and even part of the King James Bible. So we're going to take a look at some of these books of the Apocrypha that Christians just decided are just too crazy and too out there and heretical or contradictory to be included with the other books, which is pretty amazing because what is in the other books is unbelievable. Just check out my other videos in case you want examples. It proves that the Bible, which Christians hold as the infallible, perfect, holy word of the Lord, right? The divine revelation from God to humanity that is true, every word from cover to cover. It's, unchangeable and just perfect, infallible, but it's definitely been changed. It is not unchangeable. It is not constant. It is incomplete. People have been adding books and removing books from what is considered canonical scripture for hundreds, thousands of years. Okay? Which begs the question, what books of the Bible will be taken out next whenever someone empowered decides that what's written in there doesn't quite gel with what they think Christians should believe? Because it is people who added books to the Bible and decided what was canon and what was not going to be included in the Holy Scriptures. It was people who wrote the books and removed the books. So people in the future could add more books to the Bible if they want to throw some new stuff in there. They could remove parts of the Bible depending on their own agenda, right? It is not immutable. It is not unchangeable. It is not infallible, and it is not consistent. The King James Bible initially had all 80 books, including the Apocrypha. Don't blame me. They were there in the Bible.